Hello everybody, it's me RJ here again with another video for you. This video is going to be about what I use for sharpening my knives. I use these cardboard wheels that I purchased from Bass Pro probably about 15 or 16 years ago. I've had them for a long time. Um, I don't remember the company that was selling them, but they were on display there at Bass Pro, and I was pretty impressed at the job they did uh, sharpening the knives there, so I got these. Um, one of the wheels has, I think it's around 8,000 grit sand on it, and the other wheel, the wheel on the left, is just nothing but cardboard. And it has a coating on there. Came with a small block, which I'll show in a little bit, that you use to coat the wheel for polishing the blade after you sand it. This is the one with the sandpaper. So I'm going to put these two wheels aside. I already have some on my grinder, and we'll check those out. All right, this is the polishing block that it came with, and it came with some sand, so I can recoat my wheels whenever whenever the sand gets wore out, which that'll be in a totally different video. I'm not going to demonstrate that here. And it also came with a little bowl of hardened wax that I use right after I coat the wheels with the sand and they dry. I use this wax to bump on the wheel that has the sand on it and it puts a thin layer of wax on the wheel so that it protects the blade and doesn't allow the wheel to get too hot when you're sharpening the knife, because you don't want to get your blade red hot when you're sharpening it. And this block right here you use on your polishing wheel whenever you're done sharpening your knife on the sand wheel. You take the polishing block and you just bump it a couple times to get a little thin coating on the cardboard side. This is so that when you're done sharpening the blade and putting an edge on it, you can polish it up to a razor sharp edge, nice and smooth. I'm going to be sharpening two knives and one machete, and for the purpose of this video, I'm going to show you how dull these knives are. The blades won't even grab the sheet of paper. By the time I'm done sharpening these knives with these sets of wheels and the machete, they will slice through this paper like a hot knife through butter. The only bummer about sharpening long blades like fillet knives or machetes or even a katana blade, I've done that before, is you have to remove one wheel at a time, which you'll see that here in a few minutes. But I'm going to go ahead and speed up this video and get to sharpening these knives. Okay, what you want to do is grab your knife and hold it as straight up as you can against the blade. You're going to run 3 passes on each side. Unless the blade is really dull and you need to run more, you can, but run an even amount on each side of the blade like this. And what you're looking for on the blade is right at the very edge of it, you will see the metal of the edge of the blade start to fold in towards you, which you can see a little bit here in the video. That little shiny edge, that's the metal folding, and that's what you're looking for. Once you start seeing that, go ahead and go to the other side of the knife and run 3 passes on that, and you're going to get that. And that's the purpose of the polishing wheel on the other side, is to polish all that folding brittle pieces of metal off of the blade so that you have a perfect edge. And you're going to do the same thing on the polishing side, 3 passes on each side of the blade. And I like to take a cloth and wipe off the residue that's left from the polishing side to make sure that the blade is nice and clean. And then I always grab a sheet of paper and I see how sharp it is and to cut the paper. And if it doesn't cut the paper, I'm not satisfied. I will sharpen that knife until it slices through that paper like butter. Alright, now that the residue is wiped off the blade, you can see how nice and shiny and clean the edge of that blade is. And it is extremely, extremely sharp. You could shave your face with it like a straight razor. I'm going to slice this piece of paper so you guys can see how sharp this knife is. Thanks for watching the video, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. You can obviously see that all the blades that I sharpened are extremely, extremely sharp. If you do get a hold of one of these sets of wheels, just be careful you don't slice yourself open while you're trying to sharpen these blades, because you're going to get them very sharp. And I got a little hatchet that I bought that I sharpened several years ago. I've used it a few times out in the woods, but the blade is still pretty sharp. It doesn't cut like a razor blade anymore, but it'll just take a couple passes on the wheel and I can get that sharpened right up. But you can still see that it's held its edge for quite some time, and it's been used to cut through sticks, little trees, and it's been chopped in the mud, cutting roots up while I was out in the woods squirrel hunting. So you can still see it's pretty sharp. Thanks again for watching. Leave any comments, any questions you got. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. If you do subscribe, I'll subscribe right back to you. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy, guys.